Hello and welcome back once again to Tungsten Tales. Just a couple of days to go now in Q School, and we have another couple of players that have confirmed their place on the tour, and a player you may not even have heard of before, coming from the depths to claim a tour card and played some absolutely unbelievable darts today. We've already seen 6 new tour card holders, 2 more today and 2 more to come tomorrow, along with all the Order of Merit winners. There are some that have come through unofficially through the Order of Merit so far, but they will be confirmed following the end of tomorrow's play, around just before 6 PM hopefully, UK time that is. So we'll get into the day's darts, of course starting in the UK today, and your winner, as you can see below, is Jake Jones. There's very little on Jake Jones, I have to say, for those wanting to look around. From Stoke-on-Trent, had a very good last few months in terms of his online darts, produced some excellent stuff in those sort of events, but we've never really seen him in terms of the PDC stuff. Hadn't really seen too much of him. Won the Torremolinos Open many years ago under the BDO system, but now is a fully fledged PDC tour card holder for the next 2 years. So congrats and welcome to the tour, Jake Jones. We'll have a quick look at his route through, and you'll see he beat some very fancied names. Starting off against Eddie Lovely, who's a very established Challenge Tour player, so a good result straight off the bat for Jake Jones. Then beating Liam Meek, along with John O'Shea, World Master. Robert Thornton, a 6-0 whitewash of the former World Grand Prix and UK Open champion. That's definitely not to be sniffed at. And then coming through a last leg decider with John Brown before defeating Martin Thomas, and then Gordon Mathers, the Australian in the final, had a fine day himself and has really propelled himself into those Order of Merit spots. So that's Jake Jones. I mean, you can see there the averages aren't stupendous, but a 92.9 the opening round, 90 in the final. 90 averages are going to win you games, especially in Q School, and that's what he's done here today and over the last few days. Of course, had to come through the first stage as well, did Jake Jones. Other players that have had good days, I mean, I mentioned Gordon Mathers. He was right down there at the start. I think he only had 1 point, maybe even 0. I'm sure somebody will correct me there, but 90 average, 97 against David Wojewski in the second round, who's another player that's got some points on the board. 87 against Jim McEwen, who's I believe on the edge of those playoff places now. 95 against Louis Williams, a second consecutive final for Louis Williams, but unfortunately blew a bit of a lead there and couldn't quite get the job done. But positives are 2 consecutive semi-finals. That's a lot of points on the board, and he's going to be very hard to catch if he isn't already confirmed for a PDC tour card. Just 18 years of age, I believe, Louis Williams. Absolutely incredible. And unfortunately Mathers, who we were talking about, just losing out to Jake Jones obviously in that final. Looking a little bit further, I mean, a good run for John Brown into the quarterfinals. He was superb in stage 1, but maybe not quite at it in terms of his game in stage 2 so far. Jason Hogg had some big victories. He's a former UK Open player, playing the World Championship in 2015 as well. Defeating Peter Hudson there with a 100. Simon Stevenson, the former tour card holder, as is Andy Jenkins, but his run coming to an end via Louis Williams. I'm sure there'll be plenty more there. I mean, Robert Thornton getting to the last 16, Jose Marquez, even Andrew Gilding as well getting to the last 16, are decent results for them. So now we'll head over to the Order of Merit. As you can see, Jack Main currently tops the Order of Merit on 9 points. And he is confirmed as a tour card holder for 2021 all the way until 2023, with 9 points, 4 points ahead of Andrew Gilding in 13th, and 5 points ahead of Brett Claydon. So more than safe. You've got to think Martin Lukeman and Louis Williams, although they're not confirmed yet. 1 win, if not even no wins tomorrow, would confirm their place in the on the tour for the next 2 days. Next 2 years, sorry. Alan Suter's looking good on 7 points as well, and then some of the regulars, the likes of Joe Mernon, Eddie Lovely, and even John Worsley a little bit further down the Order of Merit. So the players that are just outside, the likes of Robert Thornton, he's a point outside, a couple of points. Mike Warburton, Chris Quantuck, Martin Hennigan, who was highly fancied, but there are some players that need runs in the on the final day, like Kevin Burness is down there, World Youth finalist, Joe Davies, Jared Cole, the list goes on, John O'Shea, so many players down there that haven't been able to get on the board. And if you scroll right to the bottom, Ryan Palmer and Alan Norris, former quarter-finalist in the World Championships, of course. He's been very, very unlucky. He's got some wins on the board, but unfortunately those last 1-2-8 victories do not count towards the Order of Merit. So he somehow finds himself second bottom, which is beyond me, but I don't do the maths, so you know. We'll head over to European Q School now. There we go. Your winner today, Florian Hempel from Germany, and a very positive day for many of the German players, as to be said. We'll jump straight in to his route to the final. Look at some of this darts. 96 against Lucas Weinig in the second round, and he held that pretty much throughout the day. 95 against Brian Ryman, 94.6 against Niels Zonneveld, 95 against Martin Schindler, 101 average to defeat John Michael in the semi-finals, and then 94 to defeat Luke Peters in the final. That is a stunning standard. Even on the Pro Tour, you've got to feel he's going to be very, very hard to beat with those sort of numbers. I said good day for the Germans. I mean, Martin Schindler made a quarter-final, but if you look into the last 16, you've also got Rene Idams, who's come from practically nothing to place himself 1 point outside the Order of Merit spot. So a good run tomorrow for Rene Idams, maybe get 3 points on the board, maybe 4. You've got to think he's in with a chance of getting a tour card 5 years after that incredible display against Michael van Gerwen at the Worlds. You know, you thought he was going to fulfil his potential back then, but maybe he's just about doing it now. Some of the other players we've got to look out for. Luke Peters obviously reached the final, 100 average there against Benito van der Pas, who comes from 0 points into the fray with a quarter-final run today. The likes of Kevin Dutz is a top player again from the Netherlands. He's not had the best Q School, but puts himself in the running with a semi-final run, for Kevin Dutz. There's so many players you could pick out, but the player we've reviewed every day so far, Raymond van Barneveld, he had a tough opening game against Stefan Belmont. Unfortunately, I believe he missed a dart to win that one. Probably correct me if I'm wrong there, but a 6-5 loss to the Swiss thrower, who we have seen on the European Tour before. If you scroll down, Lorenzo Pronk, he was in the playoff places, the Order of Merit spots before the day started, but a last 32 loss, I believe he is right on the edge of that. But there are so many good players that still haven't got any points on the board, or are still looking to progress in that final day tomorrow. Head over to the Order of Merit. Martin Schindler tops it after that world record average yesterday. 4 points ahead of the next player in touch, which is Kevin Dutz. You've got to think him and Lurchbacher are pretty much safe, along with Boris Koltsov as well. Raymond van Barneveld sits on 6 points, so he probably does need 1, maybe 2 points tomorrow, but 1 point should do it. You've got to hope so anyway. I'm sure lots of people will have their fingers crossed for Raymond van Barneveld. John Michael and Luke Peters, after good performances today, sneak into those places, as does Niels Zonneveld. And Lorenzo Pronk, who I mentioned earlier, is just about holding on to that final spot. Gino Voss, Richard Veenstra, Davy Prosten and Mario van den Boogaard are players to drop out of those places. It shows how quickly it can change. Just one day and they have gone from looking pretty safe in the Order of Merit spots to dropping there and needing to pick up some points tomorrow. Michael Unterbuchner is still in with a shout, as is Benito van der Pas somehow. He's only 2 points away. I mean, he probably needs another quarter-final, maybe even a semi, to put himself into those spots. But we know what Benito van der Pas does. He digs out results when he needs them, and he's definitely going to need to do that tomorrow. Rene Idams, as I mentioned, he's on 3 points, too short as well. Roby John, Lucas Weinig, another top player, Jan Dekker, another former tour card holder. The list goes on. You look down this list, there are so many former tour card holders and top players that are nowhere near the Order of Merit and need finals, maybe even wins tomorrow to confirm that they get back on the PDC Tour. But It's the nature of Q School. It's been so competitive this year, both in the European and the UK tour, UK stages, and we've got one more day of it. Follow all the action on @Tungsten Tales, live scores on @DartConnect, and of course dartsrankings.com to keep up with those order of merits. We'll see you tomorrow.